Welcome back to another video, Rams Nation. Today I'm bringing to you the fourth video of my mini draft series, and that is how Dante Pettis is this year's JuJu Smith-Schuster. And when I mean that, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just going to compare the production, because JuJu Smith-Schuster was the leading rookie receiver last year, and he was drafted in the third round. And I think we can see Dante Pettis do the same thing. I think he's going to be drafted in the third round, and I think that he might lead all rookies in receiving yards, or at least become close. He's probably, other than Anthony Miller, who I would consider a second rounder, Dante Pettis is probably my biggest sleeper wide receiver in this draft. I want to get the record straight. I wasn't that high on JuJu Smith-Schuster. Shame on me. He was my 8th or 9th ranked wide receiver. I just thought he was like your average receiver. He wouldn't do anything special. He would get the job done. He'd be like a 40 to 50 yard game kind of guy. Yeah, but he did have a great year. He led all rookies, and I'm not comparing. I want to reiterate that Pettis is not. I'm not comparing Pettis to JuJu. I'm just comparing the production for a third rounder. Now, Pettis is the all-time punt return touchdown leader in NCAA history. This also translates to him getting the ball in the open field and making guys miss. That's one thing that he's really good at. Right here is Pettis' 9th career punt return touchdown, and you're going to see his ability to make guys miss. And this is what happens when you throw him screens and short passes like that. He will make guys miss in the open field, and he will burn the defense. He also has great hands, and he's a great route runner. He's very quick and shifty, so that's one thing I really like about him. He gets that separation. I'm going to roll some clips from the Oregon game, and you're going to see that. You're not going to see it in this clip, but Pettis gets opened from a double move, and it's a very subtle and quick cut. Here's a better angle of it. He's going to take a few quick steps and separate. And right here, he's running a deep in, and look at this space he just gains on that corner. It's something that he does very well of, getting that separation. And right here, he sinks his hips and comes back and attacks the ball, turns outside, and heads for a first down. Right here, he's going to show off his strong hands and catching ability. That's a really nice catch, and he got separation on that corner too. Right here, he's lined up at tight end on the right, and he's going to be running down the center of the field. And this is a nice adjustment to make on the ball, to catch it over the shoulder. And there's a couple things about Dante Pettis that people don't like, and one of those things is his skinny frame. He is 6'1" and only 192 pounds. Usually if you're 6'1", you're around 200, 205, 210 in that range, so he's going to have to add on 10 to 20 pounds. No big deal. If he gets into an NFL locker room, he should be able to do that, or an NFL weightlifting room, not a locker room. Shame on me. And also, some argue that he only produces in certain games, because if you look at his stat sheet or his game log, he has games where he has 150 yards, 200 yards, and then he has other games with like 50. But I don't think that should reflect on Dante Pettis. Now, there is a wide receiver in the NFL that does the same thing, but we like to call him a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. I'm not calling Dante Pettis a top 5 wide receiver, and I don't think he's going to be that. I just think he's going to be a solid mid-round option. And that wide receiver that we proclaim to be a top 5 wide receiver is Julio Jones. If you take his 4 best games from this past year, he had like 1,400 yards this year. But if you take his 4 best games, which he only had 4 games with only 100 yards or more, and in those 4 games he had 628 yards, and if you take his 4 worst games, that comes out to 165 yards. In all of those games he had 57 yards or less, and 2 of those games he had 30 yards or less. So if Dante Pettis, or if Julio Jones can get away with it, I think Dante Pettis will, or should, and I don't think it should reflect poorly on Pettis. I think he's a stud. I think he's going to be a steal in the third round, and a team's going to be really happy to get him. Also, another thing about Pettis is that he's a good blocker. He's going to help any team's run game. If you watch the Rams this year, I know my following is from the Rams, but if you watch the Rams, Sammy Watkins was a good blocker. I could see, and he helped Todd Gurley, have the season that he did. So I could see Dante Pettis do that for a team that he gets drafted by. Going back to what I said about him being a good blocker, here he is. Look at the first down marker, getting good position on that corner. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Go Dante Pettis. I think he's going to be a stud. If your team drafts him, you're going to be really happy with what you get. And my next video I'm going to come out with is specifically for the Rams, and that is 5 players that I think the Rams should target with their first pick in the third round, which is pick number 87. I personally don't think they're going to pick there. I think they're going to trade up, but I'll talk about that in that video. So again, thanks for watching, and Dante Pettis, yeah, he's going to be stud.